Welcome to the ultimate optimization guide for boosting PC performance, increasing FPS and reducing ping in Fortnite and all games. From custom OS installation to special registry and Ethernet settings, this guide covers it all. Let's get started. A custom operating system refers to a system that has been specifically tailored or modified to meet the unique requirements of a particular application, device, or hardware platform. These modifications could involve anything from changing the user interface to optimizing performance for specific tasks or hardware configurations. In this case, we are going to use a custom OS designed for gaming. In addition, in my 4 years of experience as a competitive Fortnite player, I can tell that every single custom OS is better than stock Windows. And this is because stock Windows is not optimized for gaming and has a lot of useless processes that affect overall performance. Now, I'm going to show you the custom OSs available in the market. You can find Kernel OS, Atlas OS, Fox OS, Kirby OS, Ghost Spectre, Nexus OS, Revi OS, Mini OS, Elite OS, Cable OS, Winter OS, GG OS, and Winx Lite. It's important to remember that these aren't the only operating systems available, because with the pass of time, new operating systems are coming with different versions of them. So, which system should you install?
In my personal experience, I have used Mini OS, Elite OS, Nexus OS and Kernel OS, and I fully recommend Kernel OS and Nexus OS. According to online general reviews, the best OSs for gaming in general are Ghost Spectre and Winx Lite. And lastly, speaking objectively, taking into account the opinion of advanced benchmarkers that already made the comparison between all OSs, Kernel OS gets the first place of the custom OSs, being in second place Fox OS and third place Revi OS. Now that you know all the OSs in the market, you can select whatever you want. Before installing any brand new custom OS, you should have a backup of all your info, including documents, downloads, pictures, videos, installers, programs, and the relevant files that you need to keep. You can do this copying the info in an external disk or USB. And this is because the best way to do a clean install is by formatting your machine. Have an Ethernet driver saved in an external disk ready to install in your new OS. And last but not least, the installation of any custom OS runs by your own responsibility.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to install and run a custom OS. In my case, I'm going to install Kernel OS. Let's get it.
You are going to search Rufus on Google, click on the latest version and download it. After downloading Rufus, you need a USB to put the ISO image of the OS. In my case, I already had Kernel OS in my USB, but I formatted it to teach you how to set it up with Rufus. After formatting the USB, you are going to open Rufus. In the box named device, you are going to select your USB. And in the box called boot selection, you are going to search and select the folder that has the ISO image of your custom OS. Press ready and tick the boxes that you need. We are gonna wait until Rufus turns your USB into a bootable USB. Don't worry if the process takes time, because the program takes from 10 to 15 minutes preparing the USB. Now that you have your bootable USB, you are going to restart your computer and you are going to press the key to enter the BIOS. My laptop is an HP Pavilion gaming laptop, so the key that I'm pressing is F10 to get into the BIOS. Once being in the BIOS, you're gonna search the boot options tab, and once into the boot options, search the UEFI boot order and put your USB as the first boot option. Then you are going to the exit tab, you are going to save the changes, and your PC is going to boot your USB. Here in the Windows setup, you are going to select your hard disk or your hard drive of your PC, and you're going either to delete the data from it or format it. After deleting the old info, you are going to select the disk where you are going to install the new OS. After making this process, your PC is going to reboot automatically. So you are going to press the key to access to the BIOS again and change the boot option from your USB to a OS boot manager. again save changes and exit, and after your PC turns on again, it should display your new system. In my case, after installing kernel, it appears a console window with additional settings for the system, and I select the settings that boost my PC even more. After making the clean installation of your new system, you can install your Ethernet driver and browsers to start the configuration of your machine. Depending on the system that you installed, in my case in kernel OS, I have to install manually my drivers. I do this with Snappy Driver Installer that is pre-installed in my post-install folder. Here in the Windows settings, I recommend you to deactivate as much settings as possible, including notifications, focus assistant, tablet mode, remote desktop, and other useless settings that you don't need. All of this with the purpose of optimizing the overall performance of your device. This step is optional if you want to activate your window to erase the annoying watermark and increase performance. With this first method, you can activate Windows with KMS tool and follow the instructions, or you can do it with the second method. Press the keys Windows plus R, right to regedit, go to HKey local machine, system, search this folder called current control set, services, SBSBC, then press start modify 4. After this, restart your PC. Now that Windows is activated, we continue with the post-install. In the post-install folder, if your system has one, you're gonna select and activate the tweaks and settings that you consider necessary for the good functioning of the machine with optimized performance. You're gonna find tools and apps, troubleshooting options, tweaking, and GPU drivers installer. Here I'm going to drop you the best filter key settings if you want to set it up. You are going to put ignore under 0 ms, repeat delay 130 ms, repeat rate 20 ms. The flags that you are going to select are on, available, and safe in registry. Then just press apply and OK, and you can close it, and you can do the test to see if filter keys work or not. This part is pretty easy and one of the most important. I'm leaving in description the Google Drive link that has 7 folders with more than 100 tweaks to get better performance in your PC, Fortnite, and video games in general. You just have to download the folders and apply the tweaks that you need depending on your specs. I recommend you visiting EXM's channel because he has one of the best optimization utilities for free, and I'm leaving you his Discord and channel in description so you can boost your PC even more. All the files that you are downloading are 100% safe and they don't have virus because all files are just registry settings and CMD or BAT files. If you want, you can check up before downloading. Here I drop you my audio settings if you want the same bass boost that Mongrel and Mitro used to have. Now we are moving on mouse settings. Open the mouse settings and uncheck the box called Enhance Pointer Precision. After doing this, you can select the cursor that you want. Now let's see some performance settings. To get the best performance in any Windows, you need to uncheck all boxes of performance except show thumbnails and smooth edges. For this step now, change your virtual memory page file. The minimum page file size should be 1.5 times your RAM, and the maximum page file should be 3 times your RAM. You can calculate this with a calculator. Now let's check the Ethernet and Wi-Fi settings. To get better ping in all games, you should update your internet drivers, disable nagging algorithm, clean DNS cache, and disable some settings. If you want, you can disable Bluetooth only if you don't need it or you don't use it. You are going to uncheck all the unnecessary connections. We just need the QoS packet scheduler, but if you want, you can disable it, and the Internet Protocol version 4 and version 6. Then just press OK and apply changes. And again, open the properties of the adapter. Press Internet Protocol version 4 properties and put the DNS of Google or Cloudflare. And apply changes. After this, press configure and follow these steps. Advanced, ARP, offload, disabled, auto disable gigabit, disabled, energy efficient Ethernet, disabled, flow control RX and TX enabled, gigabit light disabled, green Ethernet disabled, interrupt moderation disabled, don't touch the large sense, disable the power saving mode, enable priority and VLAN, receive buffers, put the maximum number allowed, don't touch receive side scaling, set the speed and duplex to 1 GB full duplex or select the negotiation depending on the speed you pay. Don't touch any of these, and wall and shut down link speed, not speed down. Press OK and your Ethernet adapter is going to restart by itself. Open again the properties of the adapter and in the tab of power management, disable all settings because they make your internet slower. Again, press OK and exit. Now we are going to configure the Wi-Fi. Here, just enable and disable all the settings that I'm enabling and disabling here in the video. Now that we are finished with network settings, I'm going to show you the best Hidushbf configuration. Here it comes, the disk cleanup. Now we are going to check the power plans. Here in the advanced power settings of your power plan, you can put the state of your processor at 100% and your GPUs at 100%. The EXM Tweaking Utility is by far one of the best tools to optimize and boost your PC. It's very intuitive and you can apply the tweaks that your specs and PC need. The Tweaking Utility has general performance and latency tweaks, power tweaks, Windows and debloat, cleanup, RAM tweaks, auto-runs app, GPU tweaks, CPU tweaks, USB tweaks, and mouse and keyboard tweaks. Download TCP Optimizer, run it as administrator, wait till the program loads, press custom settings, set the slider to plus 100 MB, TCP window auto-tuning normal, Windows scaling heuristics disabled, congestion control provider CTCP, receive side scaling enabled, R segment enabled, TTL64 ECN disabled, checksum offloading disabled, TCP chimney offload disabled, large send disabled, TCP 1323 disabled. Press apply and don't reboot the PC. This is because we are going to continue using the program. Go to the advanced settings and do this with me. Max connections per 10 server 10, max connection per server 10, local for host 5, DNS 6, net 7, max scene retransmissions 2, non-stack resiliency disabled, initial RTO 2000, minimum RTO 300, QOS non-best effort 0, QoS NLA optimal 1, network routering index disabled, system responsiveness gaming 0, TCP ACK frequency disabled 1, TCP no delay enabled 1, TCP delactics 0, large sketch default 0, size default 1, max user port 65,534, TCP time with delay 30. Now apply changes and exit and you can now reboot your PC. Now let's see the display settings. You are going to enter to your display settings and graphic settings. You are going to browse and search Fortnite just as I do. Disk, program files, Epic Games, Fortnite game, binaries, Win64, and you are going to double click the executable file and put in the options the high GPU priority. This means that instead of running the game with the integrated graphics, you are running it with your graphic card. Do the same with the files of the regular shipping, BE, EAC, and the Fortnite launcher. Now we are going to UNPARK the CPU cores. Here in the system configuration, in the boot tab, we are going to check the box that says number of processors and you are going to put it to the maximum. Press OK and the timeout should be in 10 seconds. Now you press apply, OK, and you reboot your machine. This part is easy since we are going to add new QOS policies. Press the Windows settings folder and click in policy based QOS. Create a new policy, put the name that you want, type DSCP value 63 and the outbound throttle rate should be the speed of your internet or 1000 megabytes. Click next, This QOS policy applies to only apps with the executable name, and you are going to put the Fortnite executable name. Click next, and set the QOS policy to TCP and UDP protocols. Now, these are the best command line arguments for Fortnite in the Epic Games launcher. You just have to copy and paste them from the description. In the command called preferred processor, change the number 12 to the number of logical processors that your PC has. You can check your number of processors just seeing the section of the CPU in the task manager. Close the Epic Games launcher and your game is going to have better performance with these commands. If you want maximum performance in Fortnite, these are the best in-game settings. Cap your FPS so you wouldn't have FPS drops. The FPS cap should be the same number of hertz of your monitor. Like with performance mode, desync off, full screen mode to don't get any delay, view distance low, textures low, and low meshes. Disable the reporting of performance stats. Put low sound quality. Visualize sound effects off because it decreases FPS. Put the server that is closest to your region or that gives you the lowest ping. Disable contextual tips because they also just decrease performance. And disable all the replays. Creative replays, large team replays, high quality replays, everything should be disabled. Plus, energy saving should be off, both of them. And if you want, lastly, you can disable the player surveys. Here are the benchmarks of Fortnite on Windows 11 fully optimized versus kernel OS without tweaks and kernel OS fully optimized. If you reach this part of the video, I really want to say thank you for watching the entire thing. Making this guide took me one entire month since February 7th until today that I'm uploading it to this platform. And I'm about to lose my creator code. As I help you to optimize your PC, I don't want anything in return, but it would mean a lot for me if you use code SANTIGOLD in the Fortnite item shop. Because I don't get any revenue from social media platforms and I would really like to keep my creator code to keep uploading this type of videos for you guys. This guide was possible thanks to the knowledge of PCs that I acquired since 2020, and right now I want to share some channels of the people who I learned from, and this is knowledge that I need to share with you.